If you believe that Web3 is the next big thing and that distributed ledgers are going to take over the world and play a vital role in tomorrow's world, you essentially are also a believer in Chainlink, because Chainlink is of vital importance to the cryptocurrency space. It is the whole reason that we actually have DeFi. It was an enabling factor in regards to its Oracle price feeds. And actually, Chainlink isn't just crucial to Web3 itself and now the interoperability of it with CCIP, but the interoperability between the Web3 world, the blockchain world, and the traditional financial world. And on, I believe it was Friday or Thursday last week, we had some insane news in regards to DTCC that collaborated with Chainlink and 10 of the largest financial institutions in the world, such as JP Morgan, BNY Mellon, and many others, State Street, etc., to enable a proof of concept called SmartNavs that is going to fundamentally change the financial system as we know it. That is what we're going to be exploring in this video, ladies and gentlemen. We will get around to doing a price update for Chainlink. I know many people were worried, but we did say, don't be worried. You know, you've got to allow a little bit of kind of leeway technically when you're looking at cryptocurrencies because of the volatile nature of them. But Chainlink is probably one of the most surest bets in the cryptocurrency space. And the word sure bet doesn't really go with crypto because it is very volatile and you can lose all your money. And nothing we say or do on this channel is financial advice. But Chainlink is literally an integral part to the cryptocurrency space and the traditional financial world merging with it. And actually, we will look at this report published by DTCC that actually highlights that and the value of Chainlink. So for anybody that's unfamiliar with DTCC, I do apologize for saying that so much, it's going to be ringing throughout your head by the end of this video, unfortunately. They process around about $2 quadrillion worth of volume yearly. They are essentially the clearinghouse for the NASDAQ and many of these other large banks and institutions. You know, they are an integral part of the financial system as it currently sits. And of course, it's very obvious that they're going to want to innovate as they see change coming and they want to be a leader in that, hence them partnering up with Chainlink and the other 10 banks and financial institutions, not just banks, doing a very similar thing. So of course, it stands for the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. Let's dive over to the announcement from Chainlink. And this was the announcement as we got it. And again, this was the 16th. So what was that? Thursday, Friday, around about that point. I was actually away over the weekend, so I did do a video on this, but the audio was cracked. I had a couple of videos that the audio wasn't so great on. So I wanted to kind of do it in the new week with a bit of a better setup. But we're excited to share the results of a new SmartNav industry pilot between the DTCC group, Chainlink, and 10 of the world's largest financial institutions that delivered key mutual fund data on chain. So it goes on to say, processing $2 quadrillion annually, the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, DTCC, you are going to remember those 4 letters by the end of this video, is the premier post-trade market infrastructure that provides clearing, settlements, asset servicing, data management, and trade reporting around millions of security transactions each day. The pilot demonstrated how DTCC and Chainlink can make net asset value NAV, which is what that stands for, data available across virtually any private and public blockchain. So we are going to move to a world where there's both private and public. They're going to interoperate. How do they do that? Well, CCIP, I think, is a missing link to that puzzle. This enables automated data dissemination and historic data access, which unlocks a multitude of use cases around fund tokenization. One of the key findings from the report showed how Chainlink CCIP serves as an open blockchain interoperability standard to prevent future fragmentations by providing a secure abstract layer between DTCC and blockchains. You can read more in the full article, and that is exactly what we are going to be doing, ladies and gentlemen. So the financial institutions, because I know many of you are interested, that were actually involved in this were American Trust Custody, American Century Investments, BNY Mellon, Edward Jones, Franklin Templeton, Invesco, JP Morgan, MFS, State Street, and the US Bank, of course, in collaboration with DTCC and Chainlink. Let's take a look at their executive summary. So let's actually zoom into this so you guys can read along with me. As a trusted financial market infrastructure, FMI for short, and partner to financial market participants for over 50 years, DTCC is well positioned to support the industry's ongoing exploration of digital assets and their application in financial services. As part of this exploration, DTCC, there we go again with that four-letter word, developed a new pilot smart nav which leverages DTCC's digital asset capabilities as well as Chainlink, a leading technology platform for cross-chain interoperability and blockchain abstraction. The pilot was designed to explore the extension of DTCC services, Mutual Fund Profile Service, IMFPSI for short, the industry standard for transmitting price and rate data, referred to as NAV data. In recognition of increased industry attention on mutual fund tokenization, DTCC identified an opportunity for on-chain price and rate data that can serve as a key enabler to the exploration of new initiatives or innovatives, taking a chain agnostic approach, i.e. the ability to disseminate the NAV across virtually any blockchain, would be key to enabling other use cases to build atop smart NAVs foundations. We invited asset managers, service providers, and distributors to a series of collaborative workshops to discuss the pilot and evaluate benefits. Participants included, and we've gone through the list. The key takeaway was, or one of the key takeaway was, together DTCC along with market participants in Chainlink found that by delivering structured data on chain and creating standard roles and processes, foundational data could be embedded into a multitude of on-chain use cases such as tokenized funds and bulk consumer smart contracts, which are contracts that hold data for multiple funds. This capability can support future industry exploration and can power numerous downstream use cases as well, such as brokerage portfolio applications. Additional benefits include real-time, more automated data dissemination and built-in access to historic data. So they actually give you a really clear overview of how this previously worked, so how it currently works, and what the future may look like. So the largest clearinghouse in the world is going to use Chainlink. This is one example of Chainlink being used in the real world. And people doubt me and wonder why I continue to talk about it, because they think it's boring. They want to chase meme coins and this and that. And yeah, you can make money on meme coins, and we think meme coins are going to do very well. But when you're investing in Chainlink, you're kind of investing in the future. It talks about a path forward. And the really interesting one that I want to read just to wrap things up before we dive over to a clip of Sergey himself talking about this is, what is the value of Chainlink to the SmartNav use case? And it's integral. At its core, the SmartNav use case is about getting data to where it needs to be. Tokenized assets are empowered by the accessibility of such data on a dynamic basis. While this would be relatively simple to accomplish if we knew all mutual funds would ultimately reside on a single blockchain, the practical reality is that they are likely to span many blockchains. This ability to continue to update the data irrespectively of which chain the smart contract resides on or over its life cycle is crucial to its ability to preserve and optimize its automation. The notion of DTCC directly connecting to every blockchain network where our clients conduct business is not practical given the costs and operational burden that would result from integrations, managing nodes, and accounting for the technical nuances between chains. The SmartNav pilot demonstrates CCIP's ability to serve as an abstraction layer between DTCC and potentially infinite number of blockchains we may need to integrate to at some point in the future. Rather than building bespoke connections, we were able to validate an approach DTCC systems integrate to a single CCIP endpoint, which can then relay the data to virtually any destination blockchain. So this is huge. And it also gives broader clarity to where the cryptocurrency space is heading, because DTCC themselves are actively looking to be on most blockchains, which means inherently they can't be securities because they can't work, so on and so forth. it's a very bright future that the cryptocurrency space has in front of it. What I want to do now is actually dive over to a clip of Sergey himself talking about this, and then we'll wrap the video up.
I think it's a very significant step forward in a number of ways. So the first way is that it shows that large market participants are coming together to use blockchains, smart contracts, and Oracle networks together to solve very tangible, immediate problems for how the global financial system operates. And that this is being driven by, I guess you would say, the world's largest CSD that clears the largest amount of securities in the world in the quadrillions. So the fact that this large organization and this large collection of participants have come together to solve a problem using blockchains, smart contracts, and Oracle networks really proves where the blockchain technology adoption cycle is right now. And it's starting to show real value. That's the first thing that I think is very meaningful. The actual implementation was very interesting in that it allowed the elimination of a huge amount of paper documents and spreadsheets and various things that were sent around between these asset managers to be condensed down into a single smart contract that acts as a data container into which relevant data goes and from which they can all read. Now that's a huge step forward in a very specific singular process, specifically related to a small subset of what they do. And this subset became orders of magnitude more efficient. So I think the conclusion of everybody is that the efficiency gain from this is massive. The next thing that I think is interesting is the role that cross-chain will end up playing in situations like this when this data needs to flow across different chains. And all of this comes back to the same thesis we've had for a long time of a unified golden record. So the SmartNav contract, can be viewed as a unified golden record where a bunch of critical data is going and then being read from in order for people to manage various key operations. I think the next step is how to expand this to more key operations, how to allow it to happen across chains, how to allow the data to flow across chains, maybe to be aggregated from many chains. And then eventually all of this data will begin, in my opinion, relating to on-chain tokenized assets as well. So I think this is the first step in a extended, long journey about how the global financial system is going to work differently. But I think the participants, the fact that it was kind of hosted and made to work with the DTCC and their use of Chainlink and CCIP and the various parts of the data side of Chainlink really shows that there's a big future in making the global financial system work in an efficient way. That's what actually everyone wants. And that blockchains, smart contracts, and Oracle networks have a very large role to play in doing all of that.
So this is huge. It really cannot be understated. I think people look for why don't things happen instantly. Insiders would have been accumulated throughout that bottom when we were accumulating for Chainlink in the $6, $7 range. It's got a real, we've got that $64 target ahead of us. That's a great return on investment, certainly for myself. And I think a lot of people would have known some of the announcements that were coming out for Chainlink and got in at the same time that we did, but there's still quite a long way to go. But again, if you're betting on Chainlink, or the cryptocurrency space, I should say, you're kind of betting on Chainlink because it is a crucial part of it, and it's how the traditional world is going to interact with the blockchain space in a kind of one-stop shop manner. And that is it from me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this content as much as I enjoyed delivering it. Thanks all for watching. See you all in the next one.